Hello, this is Hard Chatter, and today I want to touch up on the Rizzy case. And I'm going to say case because with her committing suicide online and being bullied to commit suicide online, it will be a case. I hope it's going to be prosecuted. But I want to talk about TikTok in general, okay? Now, this morning I was in two lives, and both of these lives were peaceful. They were talking about, emotional healing. They were talking about the stuff that is important that the community needs to be talking about. There was no cussing, there was no name calling, and both of those lives, I kid you not, were cut off by TikTok. For whatever reasons, I don't know. But what I have observed and what I have learned about TikTok in general is that unless you are cussing each other, fighting with each other, making fun of each other, playing little games, doing the stupidest and mundane things that you can think of doing, you're not going to make money on TikTok. That it is what it is. Okay. And if you want to get on there and if you want to talk about something that is really important, okay, things that people really need to hear, bringing people together and healing past wounds, you're not going to find that on TikTok, because TikTok does not want you to promote that thing. They don't want you to do that. Okay. And I'm pretty convinced of that. Okay. It is a breeding ground for catastrophe. Okay. And I understand now why TikTok almost got canned in the United States. When there are lives at stake, then TikTok goes from being entertaining to being really sad. Really sad. And I can go back to Rizzy's case. Rizzy's case, I'm going to tell you who all needs to be sued. Who all was in the room with her, talking her into doing what she did, and TikTok. And I'm going to tell you why. TikTok allowed it to happen live. Of all the things that they cut out, they could have cut that live out and saved that baby's life, but they didn't. Okay, they didn't. There is nowhere on the internet where you should see a live death. It's not normal, people. Wake up. That is not normal. When are you going to learn that Instagram, they're all the same thing? They build off of breaking people down. You know? I mean, if you think about it, what is the most trending topic right now? I could tell you, Ray J. You want to know why? Because he's out there crashing. Okay? He's out there crashing out. It's entertainment. It's making money. Okay? Understand that TikTok is nothing more than a tool to break people apart. And that's all it is. It's the truth, okay? And like I said, unless you get on there to promote violence against each other, downing each other, bullying each other, you're not going to make money, okay? It's going to be null and void. Okay, another thing that they like to do is they get on there and they do these little battles, I guess, to win points or money or whatever. And it's chaotic. It's so chaotic. Is you're looking at the desperation on people's faces. For what? For what? Clicks and views? And now we have a victim of all of that. Say her name. Say it loud. Rizzy. Justice for that beautiful woman. What happened to her shouldn't happen to anybody. Okay? And TikTok, stop banning stuff that makes sense. Stop banning stuff that can save somebody's life. You know? What is your point? I want to know what your point is. What are you here for? Because all I see in the future is bloodshed and people just down and hurting themselves. It's a platform that TikTok has approved. And I think it needs to be looked into. It needs to be studied. Okay? So, until the next time, this is Hard Chatter, and I thank you so much for listening.